All right, buckle up, everybody, because today we're going to take a deep dive into Hotshot Trucking.
Yeah.
We've got excerpts from this audiobook I found called Hotshot Trucking. Travel the country, make good money, and be in more control of your life.
Okay.
And we've got a whole stack of customer reviews.
Nice.
Some are really good, and some are not so good.
Interesting.
So we're going to try to get to the bottom of this.
Yeah.
Is this really like a road to freedom and big bucks, or are there some serious bumps along the way?
Yeah, I think that is a great question. A lot of people are probably wondering.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can get some answers.
So for anybody out there who maybe hasn't heard the term, what is hotshot trucking?
So hotshot trucking, it's kind of like regular trucking, but it's using smaller trucks.
Okay.
Usually you are using a pickup truck with a heavy-duty trailer, and you're hauling loads that are either like time-sensitive or really specialized.
So does that mean that hotshot trucking is like filling in the gaps that like the big rigs can't?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
You know, those 18-wheelers, they can't get into tighter spaces or handle those like really specific deliveries.
Like the quick delivery, yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
So you're a lot more nimble. You can access, places that maybe a big rig couldn't. And you are dealing with clients who need things done fast, and they need things done carefully.
I see.
It's really different than like the whole traditional trucking world.
So this audiobook really emphasizes that, you're your own boss in hotshot trucking.
Right.
Is that really true?
That's a huge part of why people get into it.
Okay.
You are in charge. You choose your routes. You set your rates.
So it's like running your own little trucking company.
It is.
Running your own company, that seems like there's a lot of responsibility.
Definitely.
So like the book talks about the actual process of starting the business.
Right. Okay.
Like one of the things is like, how do you choose the right truck and trailer?
Oh, that's super important.
Oh.
You've got to think about how much weight you can actually haul, the payload capacity. And you've got to think about what type of trailer is going to work best for the kind of stuff you want to move.
So like, what are some of the different types of trailers?
Well, you've got like flatbeds.
Okay.
Those are great for cargo that doesn't need to be covered.
Right.
Then there are goosenecks.
Goosenecks.
Yeah. You ever seen one of those?
Well, the name makes me think of like, an animal with a really long neck.
It's not quite like that.
Okay.
They have this curved neck that goes up and over the bed of the truck.
I see.
And they're really good for heavier loads because they give you more stability.
So you're not just hooking up any old trailer to your truck.
No, definitely not.
You've really got to think about this.
There's a lot of thought that goes into it.
And what about all the gear, like beyond the truck and trailer?
Yeah, the book talks a lot about that too.
Okay.
You need straps, chains, ramps, all that stuff.
It's like having a toolbox on wheels, but with a lot more power.
Exactly.
And speaking of tools, the book also really emphasizes that you got to have business skills too.
Oh, yeah, that's crucial.
Okay.
You've got to be able to manage your money, figure out your costs, market your business, maybe even think about starting an LLC.
Yeah.
It adds a whole other layer of complexity.
So it's not just about driving. You've got to be a business person.
Right.
You've got to wear a lot of hats.
Absolutely.
Okay, so let's say you've got your truck, you've got your trailer, you've got your gear, you've figured out your business plan. How do you actually find loads and how do you start making money?
Load boards?
What's a load board?
They are like websites and apps that connect hotshot truckers with people who need to ship stuff.
Oh, okay, so like a marketplace.
Yeah.
So you go on there and you're like, hey, I'm available to haul this thing.
Exactly. You can look through all the available jobs, see what needs to be moved, and bid on the ones that you want.
But I imagine there's like a strategy to this. You can't just go on there and be like, hey, give me the highest paying load.
Oh, there's definitely a strategy, and the book actually talks about how to use load boards effectively.
Yeah.
So it covers things like setting your prices, writing good bids that will stand out.
So like, what are some of the tips that the book gives?
Well, first of all, you have to know how much it costs you to operate your business, like fuel maintenance, insurance, all of that.
Okay.
And then you've got to factor in the distance, the type of cargo, even how quickly it needs to be delivered.
And then you can figure out how much to charge.
Right.
But you don't want to charge too little.
No, you have to make sure you're making a profit.
So it's like a balancing act.
It is.
Okay.
And the book also talks about like building relationships with clients,
Okay.
getting referrals, using social media to promote your business.
So you're like an influencer, but for trucking.
Kind of. Yeah.
Okay, so we've heard all the good stuff from the audiobook.
Yeah.
You're your own boss. You get to travel. You can make a lot of money.
Yeah.
But let's get real for a minute.
Okay.
What are actual hotshot truckers saying?
All right. Good point.
So we've got these customer reviews. Some of them are great. Some of them not so much.
Interesting. Let's hear what they have to say.
Okay, so this one person says that the book is like the perfect starting point for beginners.
Okay.
They loved all the practical advice, and they thought it was written in a really clear way.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
It's like having a guidebook when you're starting out,
Yeah.
when you're just getting into something new.
And then another reviewer mentions that they really appreciated that the book talked about health and work-life balance.
Oh, that's so important.
They said it's a good reminder that it's not just about making money. You've got to take care of yourself too.
Yeah, because trucking can be really demanding.
Right.
You're on the road a lot, you're away from home. It can be tough.
So it's good that the book acknowledges that,
Definitely.
okay? But not every review is positive.
Uh-oh.
There's one person who says the book is way too basic.
Hmm.
They felt like they wasted their money.
Well, I guess it depends on your experience level.
Right.
If you're already a seasoned trucker, you're probably not going to get much out of a beginner's guide.
So it's like anything else. You got to find the right resources for you.
Exactly.
Okay, so we're starting to get a picture here.
Yeah.
Hotshot Trucking,
Yeah.
it could offer a lot of freedom,
Yeah.
but it also takes a lot of work.
Yeah.
You've got to be a business person, and you've got to be willing to learn.
Absolutely.
But is it really a good way to make a living?
That's the big question, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I think the answer is complicated.
Uh-huh.
There's definitely potential to make good money,
Okay.
but it's not like you just automatically get rich.
Okay, so there's no easy money.
Right. It's not a guarantee.
So there's no magic formula.
You got to be smart. You got to work hard.
But what about those like hidden costs that we were talking about earlier?
Yeah, the things they don't always tell you.
Like the sacrifices you have to make
Exactly.
to get that freedom.
Right, because you're spending a lot of time on the road.
Right.
You might be away from your family and friends.
And it could get lonely out there.
It can.
So it's like with any job where you're your own boss, you're giving up some things to get other things.
Exactly. And the book does mention work-life balance and health,
Uh-huh.
but it's important to really think about the emotional side of things.
Okay, so what are some of the hidden costs that people need to be aware of?
Well, first of all, just physically, it's demanding.
Yeah.
You're driving for hours and hours.
Yeah.
That can be hard on your body.
Makes sense.
You can get back problems.
Right.
And, you're sitting all the time.
Not a lot of movement.
Yeah, so you got to make sure you're taking care of yourself.
Yeah.
And it's not just physical. There's the mental stress, too. You're dealing with traffic. You're trying to find your way around new places.
Right.
You've got deadlines to meet.
And the pressure to make money.
Yeah, all of that can add up.
Did the book talk about ways to deal with that stress?
Yeah, actually, one of the reviewers mentioned struggling with anxiety when they first started.
Oh, wow.
But they said that doing mindfulness exercises helped.
Oh, interesting.
And working out, whenever they could.
Just taking breaks to move around.
So it's all about finding those things that help you relax.
Right. Even if you only have a few minutes.
And then there's the loneliness.
Yeah, that's a big one.
If you're out there on the road by yourself.
Days or even weeks away from home.
Yeah.
It can be tough on relationships.
And on your mental health.
Definitely.
So it's not all sunshine and rainbows.
No, you've got to be prepared for
You've
that.
got to have ways to stay connected.
Yeah.
Did the book talk about that at all?
They mentioned online communities for truckers,
Oh, yeah.
but they didn't go into a lot of detail.
What about the reviewers?
One of them said video calls with family really helped.
That makes sense.
Just seeing their faces, hearing their voices.
Yeah, technology can be a lifeline.
Yeah, it's a good way to stay grounded.
So we've got the physical demands, the mental stress, the loneliness. Is there anything else we're missing?
Well, there's also the fact that your income can be unpredictable.
Oh, right, because you're not getting a regular paycheck.
Exactly. So you could have a really good month
Yeah.
and then a really bad month.
And it's hard to plan for that.
Makes tough to budget.
Yeah, one of the reviewers recommended putting some money aside from each paycheck.
For a rainy day.
Yeah, just in case.
And what about the truck itself? All
Oh,
those miles.
that's a lot of wear and tear.
Right. Things are going to break down.
You're going to have to pay for repairs.
So you've got to factor that into your costs.
Absolutely.
It's not just the money.
Yeah.
You've got to be okay with the lifestyle.
Yeah.
Like living on the road,
Right.
eating at truck stops, sleeping in the truck.
It's not for everyone.
You've got to be really adaptable,
Yeah.
okay with not having a normal routine.
And being away from home a lot
Yeah, you're giving up some of the comforts of home.
to get that freedom.
So we've talked about the good and the bad.
The pros and cons.
It's a big decision.
It is.
You really have to think about it carefully.
And that's where the customer reviews are so helpful.
Yeah, they give you a real-world perspective.
Right, from people who are actually doing it.
So if you're thinking about hotshot trucking,
Do your research.
Talk to people.
Read reviews.
Don't just jump in blindly.
Be informed.
Because it's a big life change.
It is.
Okay, so we've covered the hidden costs,
Yeah.
the potential downsides.
The challenges.
But there's one more thing I want to talk about.
Mm.
But what about the good stuff? Like, what are some of the unexpected benefits?
Oh, the perks.
Yeah, the stuff that you might not realize until you're actually out there doing it.
Okay. Yeah, I like that.
Like, we focused on the hard parts,
Uh-huh.
but there's got to be a flip side.
Yeah, for sure.
So, like, what are some of those things that people might be surprised by?
Well, think about the sense of accomplishment.
Okay.
You're out there, you're overcoming obstacles, you're delivering on time, you're building your own business.
That's a lot.
Yeah, it's no joke.
You're really proving to yourself that you can handle anything.
Exactly. You're solving problems, thinking on your feet.
You're like MacGyver on the highway.
Yeah,
Yeah.
kinda.
And what about the travel aspect?
Oh, yeah, that's a big one.
The book talks about, seeing the country, experiencing new things.
Yeah, and one of the reviewers said that it was like having a front row seat to the beauty of America.
Oh, wow.
They talked about finding these hidden gems,
Cool.
trying different foods, meeting all kinds of people.
It's like a built-in adventure.
Right.
Yeah.
It comes with the territory.
It's funny. We always think of trucking as like a solitary job.
Uh-huh.
But in a way, it also forces you to connect with people.
That's true.
Like you're interacting with clients, with other truckers.
Yeah, you're constantly meeting new people.
And I bet all that time on the road can lead to some pretty deep thinking.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Like you've got all that time to yourself.
Right. Just you and the open road.
To think about life.
To reflect.
Like a moving meditation.
Exactly.
So it's not just a physical journey, it's a mental one too.
Well said.
So we've got the sense of accomplishment, we've got the travel, we've got the self-reflection. Any other unexpected benefits?
Well, this one reviewer mentioned that they actually lost weight and got in better shape.
Really?
Yeah, they said all the lifting and moving around,
Hey.
plus having to make healthier choices on the road.
Okay.
It actually had a positive impact on their health.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it goes against that stereotype of the trucker who, eats junk food all the time.
Right.
But it just shows that you can still take care of yourself, even with a job like this.
So it sounds like there's a lot more to hotshot trucking than we might think.
Yeah, definitely.
There are definitely challenges
But there are also these hidden rewards.
that you might not even realize until you give it a try.
Exactly.
It's all about perspective.
Right. What one person sees as a negative,
Yeah.
another person might see as a positive.
And sometimes the best things in life are the ones that push us out of our comfort zone.
I think that's true.
So for anyone listening,
Yeah.
if you're considering hotshot trucking,
Uh-huh.
don't just focus on the downsides,
Think about the unexpected benefits, too.
the things that could make it really rewarding.
Exactly.
Well, I think we've covered just about everything.
Yeah. I think we've given people a lot to think about.
So that wraps up our deep dive into the world of hotshot trucking.
It's been a good one.
We talked about what it is, how to get started,
The challenges,
the hidden costs.
the unexpected benefits.
Hopefully people feel like they have a better understanding now.
Oh, yeah. So, if you're thinking about becoming a hotshot trucker,
Do your research.
talk to people.
Be prepared to work hard.
And most importantly,
Yeah,
make sure it's the right fit for you.
because it's a big decision.
It is.
It could change your whole life.
And hey, maybe one day we'll have you on the show to share your story.
I would love that.
So until next time, everyone,
Keep on trucking.
keep learning and keep exploring.